Robert Spencer here for Jihad Watch, a program of the David Horowitz Freedom Center and for the Center for Security Policy. Arthur Wagner, a member of the Alternative for Germany AfD party that opposes Angela Merkel's suicidal influx of Muslim migrants, recently gained headlines as well as crowing and accolades from all the usual infiltrators, saboteurs, and dhimmis by converting to Islam. But then he revealed why he had answered the call of Allah. It was, he said, all about the Christian church's moral decline. One of the reasons, Wagner explained, is tied to changes that have taken place in the church, which no longer reflects my values. He said that it was unacceptable for Christian leaders to support marriage for all and to participate in gay pride parades. Where are children? Excoriating the Protestant church's moral decline is one thing, but now Wagner has joined a religion that teaches that homosexuals must be put to death. The Quran contains numerous condemnations of homosexual activity, and Lot, when he said to his people, "Do you commit such immorality as no one has preceded you with from among the worlds? Indeed, you approach men with desire instead of women. Rather, you are a transgressing people, and we rained upon them a rain of stones. Then see how is the end of the criminals." That's the Quran, chapter 7, verses 80 through 84. Muhammad specifies the punishment for this in a hadith. The Messenger of Allah said, "Whoever you find doing the action of the people of Lot, execute the one who does it and the one to whom it is done." That's from the hadith collection known as Sunan Abu Dawood, number 4462. Now, moral decline on the one hand or moral myopia on the other, giving a divine sanction to murder. Wagner has chosen the moral myopia. Muslims and non-Muslims often tell us that Muslims hate the West for its decadence, its immorality, its lasciviousness, which they contrast unfavorably with the supposed morality and uprightness of the Islamic world. Often, this boils down to a Muslim critique of Western freedom, as Wagner offers as a reason for his conversion. In line with that, the Mufti of Australia, Sheikh Taj ad-Din al-Hilali, once complained that Australian law guarantees freedoms up to a crazy level. Yet genuine freedom is an indispensable prerequisite for any cultivation of real virtue. Even today's rootless and confused West, that has to such a great degree cast off Judeo-Christian values, makes it more possible to be virtuous than the apparently much more straight-laced Islamic world. With its stonings, amputations, death penalties for an array of offenses, including apostasy, Islam has created not a framework in which people can become genuinely good, but an empire of fear. In the empire of fear, people don't dare step out of line, not out of an authentic understanding that the path of moral and ethical uprightness is preferable to the alternative, much less out of love for God, but because they are afraid of what would happen to them if they did depart from Islam's vision of morality. Were people unable to choose to do evil, their choosing of the good is merely a manifestation of fear and of the power of coercion. Those who have no choice but to be good demonstrate nothing about whether their beliefs enable or inspire them to choose the good when they could just as easily not do so. This explodes Islam's moral critique of the West. Islam envisions people behaving in a virtuous manner only because they're too afraid to do otherwise. Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini once thundered, "Whatever good there is exists thanks to the sword and in the shadow of the sword. People cannot be made obedient except with the sword. The sword is the key to paradise, which can be opened only for the holy warriors." The use of fear as a motivating factor, which Arthur Wagner has now chosen in his outrage over the West's moral decline, is not anything but the worst moral decline of all. It also highlights how radically different Islamic law is from the core values and principles of American society. However, since war is deceit, as Muhammad said, the Islamic propaganda machine, with the willing help of the establishment media, will continue to obscure these vital truths for most Americans. Nonetheless, as Islam continues to expand its presence in the U.S., the horrors of Sharia and the empire of fear it creates will eventually become obvious here, although probably only when it is too late, just as it is already too late for Arthur Wagner. I'm Robert Spencer.